Hi guys, got another build for you here. This time we're going to go for the Demon Hunter, a Diablo 3 build. Basically I wanted to give you a build that you can use for levelling, and what we're going to do with this build is pile on the explosive abilities of the Demon Hunter. Basically we're going to, a lot of the skills will be making full use of all the grenades and basically like custom engineering. This will be a high damage explosive build. The passives actually add there's such a lot of damage to this. The main stats that you'd be using on this are weapon damage. You've got I mean, the Demon Hunter isn't big on health, or like you haven't got a huge amount of health, but this build will give you a bit more health than normal, a bit more armour than usual, high damage and dexterity. So let's start by putting the skills on. Basically, your primary slot, you want to go for grenades. It unlocks at level 15. Throw out 3 grenades that explode for 95% weapon damage as fire each. The main thing with this build is we're going to essentially, when you've got up to when you filled in all the slots, you have a very powerful build that just causes carnage everywhere. If you put cluster grenades with it, throw cluster grenades that do 111% weapon damage as fire over an 8-yard radius. So that's what will be in your primary. For your secondary, what you want to go is rapid fire. 20 hatred initially, and additionally 10 hatred while channeling that. Rapidly fire for 228% weapon damage as physical. And then you want to put fire support with that. That's the rune you want to go for. While you're channeling it, launch 3 homing rockets every second, so it gets more damage basically. Defensive, you want to go for you want to actually go for just find it here, bowler shot. It's not the first set that come up in the defensive builds, but if you put bowler shot there, you will shoot an explosive bullet that wraps around its target. After 1 second it explodes, dealing 130% weapon damage. And then imminent doom, if you stick that rune on there, it will deal more damage, and it will give you it will attack more targets, give you a bit more range and so on. So stick that there. For your hunting slot, what you want to go for is, let's see if it's here. Well, I know that it will be here. Spike trap. Lay a trap that arms after 1.2 seconds and triggers when an enemy approaches, and the trap does 275% weapon damage to all enemies within 8 yards. Now you want to put sticky trap with that and plant a bomb on an enemy rather than on the ground. If the target dies within 30 seconds, the bomb explodes, dealing 404% weapon damage to all enemies within 8 yards. Now, devices. You want to go for sentry here. Drop a turret on the ground, the turret begins firing at nearby enemies for 20% weapon damage. And then if you stick Spitfire turret, unlocks at level 28. The turret will also fire homing rockets aimed at random nearby targets for 8% weapon damage as fire. Now archery, go for cluster arrow. Fire a cluster arrow that explodes for 200% weapon damage as fire, and a series of additional miniature bombs that explode for 100% weapon damage as fire, each of them. And you want to go for shooting stars. Unlocks at level 36. Instead of releasing grenades, shoots up to 3 rockets at nearby enemies, dealing 175% weapon damage as physical. Okay, now the passives. What I'd suggest going for here is ballistics, damage from rockets, because you've got a lot of rockets on there. Sorry, damage from rockets is increased. Grenadier, obviously you've got your primary skill up here. Grenadier increases hatred generated from grenades by 2 and reduces the cost of the cluster area by 10. Upon death, you'll drop a giant grenade that explodes 450% weapon damage as fire. Now, lastly, you want to go for custom engineering. The duration of your caltrops marked for death, spike trap and sentry is increased by 100%. So that's all applicable to this build. Give it a go. It's a good levelling build for all the explosive powers of the Demon Hunter. You've got cluster grenades, so you can chuck them about, and yeah, you've got a good. Well, the Demon Hunter, I would say, is the most. It's got the most versatile group of skills, so you can change this build about as you see fit. But use it as is, and it's a very good explosive levelling build for the Demon Hunter. Okay guys, cheers.